Hey guys, how's it going? Congratulations to Jerry Williams, the Bigfoot expert, for the release of his second book. He has another book. There are views and opinions of how he sees the cryptid world. He takes it to a religious realm, a religious, spiritual type realm, and that's good because he explains in detail what he's talking about. Um, Me, I take it more to a physical, hands-on type realm. Um, I haven't read his book yet, but I have a friend that read his second book, and he was telling me about it. This guy's just off the wall, man, just off the charts with how he explains in detail certain things. He's spot on. He's just spot on. So, but yeah, people always want to know why don't I write a book, and people would read it because they know that I've had real deep experiences with physical hands-on, and I've had experiences that even blew my mind. Now, I've told stories about how Sasquatch attacked our camp when I was in the military and how we had to fight them off. And all that's true. Okay, but people want to know more detail about it. Well, I'll put that in my book. Um, because I just kind of sum over it when I tell the story. I just kind of sum over it, but I try to explain it. I try to crunch everything together and explain it at once, and people really can't get the gist of what really happened back then. But it'll be in my book. It'll come out in a year, and I will put experiences in my book that I never talk about because they're experiences that I don't believe, even though I lived them and I was there when they were happening. I don't believe that it happened. Now, in my whole experience with Bigfoot, Bigfoot is aggressive, wants to eat people, wants to tear us apart, and basically wants us off the face of the earth. Now, one experience I had, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it. I was camping out in the woods, and I was around a bunch of structures, a bunch of little, how they make their little houses and stuff. They just make their little houses. I figured, okay, I'm going to camp right here. And I was by myself. This is back before actual digital recording was out. So I'm out there, I'm camping, and and they were around me. They did nothing to harm me. They let me know they were there, but see, the thing is I never acknowledged them. And normally people acknowledge them, right? I knew they were there from the word go, but I just think acknowledge them, which got them more interested in me, made themselves known to me. Did they try to hurt me? No. That's the part I don't understand. Because if you ignore these creatures, when they're trying to get your attention, they get mad. So anyway, the next morning I'd get up and go fishing, and I catch fish. I'm like, well, I know they're going to be down here trying to probably steal my fish and stuff. So I had to, hide it a little bit. They could smell it. They could find it real easy. But take back to the camp, and that one creature approached me for the fish. They actually made themselves known to me. They walked around in front of me. I'm seeing them, looking at them. Why didn't you get on recording? Because when I did this, there was no digital recording. The cameras we have were real big and bulky. If I would have pulled that out, they would have ran thinking it was a gun. So, but there are experiences I had that really blow my mind because they were more docile and friendly toward me than being aggressive. And I wasn't used to that. I was ready to fight. I was ready to kill if I had to, But I didn't have to. After a couple of weeks, I almost feel like they made me like at a distance one of their family members. Then I found out why they never stole my fish. Why they would kill deer, and I would wake up in the morning and there'd be a full deer along with the heart and liver, ripped out of the deer, set to one side. And the deer was outside my gutted, sitting outside my tent. I'm like, that's pretty odd. Sasquatch did this and didn't eat the heart and liver. They always eat. Now these creatures, they're regular Bigfoot. Regular, half ape, half man creatures. This is this. Anyway, come to find out, when I pulled out some grapes, they basically they're going like this. They want the grapes, so I threw them on the ground. They come over and they grab the grapes, but they wouldn't touch the meat, the fish, the heart, the liver, nothing. It was a group of vegetarian Bigfoot. I have never seen nothing like it in my life. So I walked to the car. And I grabbed out, I had a bin in there full of apples and oranges and all kinds of fruit, right? I pulled that thing out. It was a big cooler. And when I was going to take it back to the campsite, I didn't have to worry about taking it back to the campsite. When I turned around, that big fucker was like right on me, right here. Oh God, he's gonna kill me now. He's gonna eat me now. No, he wanted the fruit and vegetables. He could smell that, So it was a group full of vegetarian Bigfoot. I have never seen nothing like it. See, and stories like this that I don't tell people because all people have ever seen were the meat eaters, the aggressive, the ones that want to rip humans apart. I'm not saying all Bigfoot are like this. And the only reason the Sasquatch even allowed me to stay in that area is because they know I meant them no harm. Now, when I first got to the area, they were aggressive with me, but I had to gain their trust. And there were a lot of situations where I had to gain their trust. Bigfoot normally is a very aggressive creature and is not to be trusted. And that's how you should always treat all Bigfoot until they prove otherwise, or you prove yourself to them and they can, rationally be a mutual agreement, a kind of a non-verbal mutual agreement that you're not going to harm each other. Do you always become friends with them? No. Don't ever try to become friends with a Sasquatch unless you really know what you're doing, because you can get yourself killed in a heartbeat. So the stories I tell you, don't take and say, oh, they're all friendly. No, they're not all friendly. Even the ones I was with were aggressive and still could have ripped me apart any time, but they did. It was almost like after about a month of being out there, I was out there like 2-3 months. Not one time they showed aggression toward me. Every time I got fruit or some kind of berry or something, I'd put it out and they go down to the river, they fish, but they'd bring me the fish. They wouldn't eat the fish, they wouldn't eat the deer, they wouldn't eat nothing. Except vegetarian type stuff. If I cooked up some plants, the one big guy, I call him Papa, because he was the biggest fucker there. He was good 15 feet tall, He'd come, he'd plop down, and he'd be like this. Because he liked the cooked greens that I made for him. Of course, I had to make a ton of them in order to fill them up, but it's just situations like this I don't tell because people are, like I said, are used to seeing the aggressive, dominant Bigfoot, the aggressive, mean ones that want to rip you apart. So, in my opinion, are all Bigfoot mean? No, but you have to overcome the fear of Bigfoot, okay? At the same time, not all Bigfoot are nice. You go in the woods, hunting these creatures, looking for these creatures. You treat everyone the same until they prove different. You go into the woods thinking that they want to rip you apart. And you have your gun or your weapon on the ready. All of them. Even the ones that are friendly, but you don't know they're friendly until you guys come to a mutual agreement. They're able to prove them, you can prove it, and not all of them want to become friends. There are some there that make you think they become friends, so they can rip you apart later. And that's what I thought these creatures were doing. But it wasn't. It was almost like they want to be friends with humans. It blew my mind. Everything I knew went right out the window, just gone. But, and it was in an area that my one friend, Jerry Williams, I know he's going to watch this video. If I told him what area it was in, he'd blow his mind, because most of the Bigfoot around that area are really aggressive. So to find a group like what I found is very, very rare. I mean, extremely rare. To find a group like that in the first place that's friendly, vegetarian, in a vegetarian state, is very rare. It was in Oklahoma. I'm not going to say what part. But you come to find out, you do have groups where, small groups, but groups that are friendly, who don't want the aggression, who don't want the, the interaction with man to be aggressive. But then you got the ones that don't care, and the ones that don't care are the ones that we see all the time. So we just naturally assume that all Bigfoot are mean. But like I said, you always keep in mind all Bigfoot are mean until they prove otherwise. Don't go in the woods thinking they're big teddy bears, because you'll get yourself eaten or killed, or killed and eaten and everything else. So, but there's plenty of stories like this that's going to be in my book, that stories that blew my mind about how some of these groups of creatures are just trying to live life to the fullest without hurting anybody, And those stories I don't tell that much, because people don't believe them because of the aggressive Bigfoot that they've seen. Oh well. I'm Jim with Life's Adventures, keeping it real. You guys stay safe, and if you go in the woods, remember, all Bigfoot are mean until they prove different. God bless you all.